Steve, king dollar, you think?
I still think it is king dollar. I mean, right now,
really?
yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, do we go back to the highs? Not necessarily. But I think, do we test, let's say, the 200-day moving average on DXY, which is the 106 area? I don't see why not. We're talking about raising rates more aggressively than many of these other competitor currencies, for lack of a better word. Maybe the Bank of Japan gets off the schneid. Maybe the ECB gets moving. Maybe But bottom line is we're high already relative to these other currencies and going higher. So I don't see the big drag on the dollar. Let's put it that way.
So consensus was, I mean, like a week ago, that we could see a little bit of dollar weakness now, but then dollar strength towards the end of the year. If we get the dollar strength now and it continues, what does that do to other asset classes? Like, what kind of positions and options are going to have to be shaken out from that?
Well, anytime you have a break of consensus, whether it's the dollar, whether it's interest rates, et cetera, things break. And I think that's kind of what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Was we had this big consensus that we were going to soft land, not land, whatever we want to do it. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, here's the consequences, and that is, we're talking about interest rate hikes for higher and longer.
What about sectors when it comes to a strong dollar, though? Are there certain sectors you're going to be worried about that if we continue to see this return of king dollar, that you're going to end up, having to make some tough decisions?
Oh, absolutely. The problem is, a stronger dollar is not good for U.S. multinationals that export. It's definitely a drag, on emerging markets in some respects because their costs go up, especially if they're borrowing in dollars. And so it's not a great sign. But the problem is when you start to talk about currencies, it's all relative, and they can't all be lower or they can't all be higher at the same time relative to each other. Someone's got to be winning, somebody's got to be losing, and I think what the Fed is saying is we don't really care if we push the dollar higher because we've got our work to do.